The Golf Biz with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew. Management, marketing, myths, and morons. Hope we make you smile.
Welcome to the Golf Biz. I'm Joe Dahlstrom with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew, where our only goal is to make you smile as we share our stories of owning, operating, and marketing golf courses all over America. Welcome, Drew.
What's going on, Joe? Mikey, the team.
Absolutely.
What up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, guys.
Cool. Well, we got a very special episode here. We got a big part of the Paradigm fam. We got the Centennial trio here. We got Jake Z. Can't pronounce his last name quite yet. It's Zaginski, but I actually look at the way it's spelled. No idea, you know. But did I do okay, Zaginski?
Zaginski's the way we pronounce it, or Jake Z, whatever it is.
Cool. And then Elle Potts and Sebastian Collins. Welcome, gentlemen and gal.
What's going on? Thanks for having us on, dude.
Cool. So you guys have watched a few episodes, right? So the first thing, just to get us started, get a little loosened up, we do our Birdies and Bogeys of the week. So we'll start with Drew. Why don't you go ahead and start?
Yeah, so big time birdie coming up, not this weekend, but next, is that the Masters is back. It's pretty cool to have it just a few months from the last one. And this time I know where it is now. Yeah. It is at Augusta. Big birdie right there.
Didn't know where it was.
You obviously haven't watched all the episodes. So I know that now. The bogey is that, I thought there might be someone else out there that didn't know that. And so far, everyone I've asked kind of just walked away from me. So it seems like I was alone. Yeah. See, even Elle, the Centennial, knew where it was at. So,
absolutely.
But no, all great stuff coming. It's going to be a cool tournament for sure.
Absolutely. Jake, what's up?
Birdies and Bogeys. We're doing birdies first.
Yep.
Birdie for me is that today's April 1st. That means I only have about a month of school left, and then it's summer and golf for the rest of the next 3 months.
Very cool.
There you go.
What's the bogey?
Too? Is this the last year of school, or you still got a little more?
Hopefully, just one more year. So another month, and then we'll have junior year in the books. And then just one more year after that.
There you go.
So one more year is your bogey?
One more. My bogey actually is, we've been doing this scramble, me and Colton from the Cart Barn, and then a couple of our buddies. And the last 3 weeks we've been taking an Elle, so we took our third one last week.
Dude.
But I mean, that's pretty. If that's my bogey, life's going pretty good right now.
I would say so. I would say
it's
so.
a literal bogeys is my bogey.
All right, my birdie is also that school's going to be out in 3 weeks. I'm super excited about that. And then my bogey is this guy came in the shop yesterday, and we were having a really great conversation, and I was like, hey, would you mind writing a Google review? He was super excited about it, and then he actually thought my name was Jacqueline. So, Jacqueline's going to get the cred for that one.
Well, he just told us it's on the air.
But that's also a birdie, too, so it's okay.
We'll
Jacqueline gets that.
Yeah. Sebastian, birdie and bogey.
My birdie of the week is I just financed my first car, so
there you go.
It's pretty nice. It's a Hyundai Elantra, nothing too crazy. But
Cool.
my bogey is my school is not done in 3 weeks because it's real estate school, so it's kind of at my own pace whenever I finish it. But I'm not a big school guy, so I'm not excited for it.
It's all right. Time to grind.
Neither is I. We talked about that. Not everybody has to.
Dude, how cool is that? Joe had an Elantra too not too long ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I love it.
And if you want to meet the biggest not school guy of all time, Mikey D. What's your birdie and bogey?
Dude, birdies flying everywhere up here in South Florida, man. Living the dream for sure. We're doing stacks on stacks with a lot of cool action going on. So just all-encompassing birdies everywhere. Nothing in particular. But Stogies for sure, dude. It was my bracket, dude. Bracket busters. I still am a nerd ball when it comes to filling out a bracket. And that baby was a donation. So happy to whoever wins it, but it ain't me.
Cool. That's a pretty lame birdie, though. I don't think you put much effort. I get effort.
I got a million birdies. There's just birdies everywhere, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. So my birdie is that the Pops and Junior Youth Golf Program, we've actually hosted quite a few now clinics for kids, and the response has been amazing. Not only have we found a lot of kids that really love golf, we've made a bunch of smiles, and a couple of them have actually joined the team. at Dobson. So we really look forward to continuing that. The bogey is Drew and I just played in a Pro-Am with the big bro, Mark and Jason on Monday. Was not exactly a finely tuned match. Finished in the middle of the pack. And considering how much we were sandbagging, that was pretty bad. Yeah.
It's all right. That would have been really cool if I actually made that putt for the natural eagle.
Yeah.
To get a 2.
Yeah.
But didn't happen.
You know, we're actually breaking the rules because you guys saw the episode where Drew declared he was going professional.
Yeah, and I played as an amateur.
So I'm surprised there was not an investigation.
Yeah, they're coming for us.
All right, so let's get started, right? This episode is the new generation of golfers, the Centennial perspective, right? The Centennial, if people don't know it out there, that's actually a generation that's younger than Millennials. It's everybody that was born in 1997 or before, right? All three of you qualify?
After
1997,
Yep,
So, And Drew, you're a Millennial.
Yep,
right?
I'm 94, so I made the cut.
Yeah. So, Mikey, we haven't figured out what you are yet, I think.
I'm right on the cusp of a Gen X. 1980, baby.
Okay.
Cool. So, we've had a lot of episodes. We've actually had aspiring PGA golf professionals, longtime PGA golf professionals, a national champion at Oklahoma State, now aspiring PGA Tour star, Brendan Jelly. And last week we had the good YouTube superstars. You guys are sporting all the gear. I really appreciate you wearing the golf biz stuff today. It really shows where your allegiance is, but hey, that's okay. Yeah. So today, really what we want to do is we want to talk about, the Centennial perspective. Right? We did an episode on the Millennials. That was a little different. We just talked about how to manage them and lead them. We'll talk a little bit about that. But, I'm not a generational hater. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses and things like that, too. So we just really want to hear your stories. And so we'll just, how you got into golf, what do you like about it? And, Jake, let's start with you. And you can turn the mic right.
Yeah. Well, I started swinging a golf club the end of my senior year of high school. And it was just something to do to kind of finish the year off. I'd been swimming since I was 10 years old. So I was just looking to kind of shake it up, have a fun end of the year. And I knew I wanted to be going into business once I was in college. So a lot of people around me said that golf was a good thing to be into if you like meeting with people and was if you're interested in business. So that's what got me into it originally, and I played a bunch going into college, like the summer going in, and in between, like when I was home too. And it wasn't until almost a year ago right now when I got sent back home from school for COVID, or when the pandemic happened, that I was at home just looking for something to do, looking for a job, because I had a sales job lined up for that summer, for last summer, and I was looking for something that would kind of be able to hold me over for the next 8 weeks. So I came into Dobson Ranch, and I was just looking for any work. I think it was like the 4th or 5th place I'd been to that day, just driving around with my brother looking for jobs. And I went in the pro shop and met Jacqueline, and she was great. She had great energy, and I was like, hey, I'm just looking for a job. I live right down the street. I'll do anything you guys have. And a couple weeks later, I met with Andrew and you, Joe, and Jason, and we just kind of made it happen. At the time, I was expecting, I think I told you guys too, I was only expecting it to be maybe 6 to 8 weeks.
You were going to be doing like private swim lessons still too, before things really ramped up. I remember that. And you were going to try and do all those two and your door-to-door sales. So we sort of saved you from that. And then the pandemic kind of ramped up, so you didn't get to do your swim lessons. And it's been cool. I don't even think you had an application. If I remember right, it was like I called your brother because we had his number, and he stiffed us because he was already deep in the door-to-door sales. But you still came back and you're like, I'm not really sure which one I want to do. So it ended up working out.
Yeah, and it was great too, because even when I started, I had still planned on doing the summer gig, doing the door-to-door, and it wasn't until probably 4 to 6 weeks in where we spoke again, and you were like, hey, how are you liking everything? And I was like, every week that I come in, it makes it a little bit harder and harder to want to leave and go, be knocking doors all summer. So, I got hooked right after that. I just played all day pretty much every summer. And the rest
when you
is
say
history.
got hooked too, what about the golf business itself do you enjoy?
There's a lot to it. for me, one of the biggest things is being able to, just being at the course, whether I'm playing or if I'm behind the desk or down in the cart bar and helping out. I think just being at the course is something. It's a happy place filled with good vibes. I mean, everyone's there because they're passionate about the sport, or they're passionate about just being outside and crushing brews, hanging out with their friends. So it's really the whole vibe of being at the course. I mean, even when we're there working, it doesn't feel like work. I'm seeing customers who have even become my friends now. So it's really just a fun environment. Like, you're getting people out there to go play and do something that they love. So it's really hard to not have a good time, even if you're working. Yeah. So
you seem to probably are a popular kid in high school. I don't know. Should we give him the benefit of the doubt? I guess seems like whatever. You were an athlete, right? Yeah. Swimming. I don't know if that counts. That was a low blow, but hey, I heard it my whole life in playing golf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But you know what? You probably could have done a lot of different things, though. Like, what changed? And what brought you to actually even go to a golf course and start playing golf?
Yeah, wasn't it? Because it was even this year. It was just a few weeks ago. You were thinking again, oh, maybe this year I'm going to go ahead and do the door-to-door sales. And I said, hey, man, like, do whatever you want to do. But I said, take a good hard think about it. And like, what are you going to miss? And then you came back, and what were your kind of thoughts on that after you really thought about it?
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things I told Andrew was that I couldn't see myself leaving a job where I find so much fulfillment and with the customers, and I actually am passionate about the work I'm doing. Like, I believe it's important too. And I couldn't leave that to go, be in Dallas all summer, just knocking doors, talking about pest control, which I really don't care about. And, I'm not interested in. So that was really the biggest thing, is it was leaving Dobson and leaving the job that I already have now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, now you can sell ranch cards, top trays, so you don't have to knock on a door.
Yeah.
They actually knock
they
on
come
a door.
to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mikey, what do you got to say up there? You were chasing many dreams when you were a young man, and what made you think about getting in the golf business?
Well, I just wanted to hang out with my big bros, man. I just wanted to hang out with you and Marky, and then that turned out to be a real fun thing. Yeah. Funny story, I grew up pretty fast around these guys, and especially with Pops around too. But to spend time with Pops was really awesome. I mean, for what he taught us. But it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of confidence to be a young man getting up on that tee all by yourself. You don't have a team to count on you or pick you up. It's just you and you alone out there. So it definitely instills a lot of different qualities at a young age when you're doing stuff like that. But
yeah, and I think what you might have even started to feel, and I don't know if you guys have kind of thought about this, being this age. I remember a few years ago, we had talked about it before. I did the whole ambulance thing and then ended up not liking it and all that. And I definitely suffered from like the grass is always greener. Because there are good and bad days for sure. Not every day is great. Not every day is even good. There's some days that are a complete wreck, and we just do our best to have fun with it and roll with it. And at those points, it definitely is really easy to look at, if your brother was killing it last summer, saying, dude, I could go do what he does. I could do it better. He made a bunch of money. I could make even more. And then once you really take a good, hard think about it, like, you realize, well, is it really going to be that way? Am I just thinking of the upside? And, is it even really that way? It's like a lot of things that it's a whole lot easier when you don't know what goes on behind the scenes to assume that, everything will be better, make this one switch and we're done. And so it's kind of cool to see that you guys have all actually put that thought into stuff, because I definitely made a rash decision. I was like, that's it. This job's not for me. I'm going back. And I was lucky enough that I landed in another job that I did enjoy before this. But it doesn't always happen that way for sure. And then nothing feels worse than leaving something that wasn't so bad for something that's way worse.
Yeah. So you're going to college. How much school do you have left?
1 more year.
1 more year.
Yeah, I'm wrapping up my junior year right now.
For business?
Yeah. I'm a double major, business and Spanish.
Oh, wow. Very cool. So do you see a future in golf?
Yeah, I mean, as of now, I do. I don't want to leave it anytime soon, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So right now, I'm just trying to see on how I can stay in the golf industry from here on out, honestly.
Dude, he could be our ticket to going international. We'd go find a course down in Cancun.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
Jake's our guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He'd stick out too.
Yeah.
He'd definitely stick out. So, what's your take, right? Because I'm going to ask the same question all of you, right? Is that marketing to a different generation is much different, right? Because there's people that, notice things and like things. So what do you think that the best way to target and get more Centennials into golf would be?
I think that we're doing a really good job over at Dobson. I mean, as far as like the speakers and the basketball hoop and the top tracer, I think those 3 things alone have been huge. Because, I mean, the first thing the people notice, like when they get down to the first tee or they're loading up in the carts, is the speakers. And everyone, when they're leaving the first tee, has the music cranking. And I think that immediately kind of sets the vibe at the course. Like, we're here to have fun. And, the music's going to be going even when we're putting, even when we're teeing off. And that immediately kind of, like, sets the precedent that it's going to be a little bit more relaxed. And it's not going to be your typical golf course where it's, quiet at the tee. And so I think that's one of the big things. Honestly, that's what I hear the most about too, is like cranking the music, and I think that's a great way to start.
So the impact that it's been made too. We try to think of the word inclusive, right? Because the tradition of the game is, the nerd, everybody's quiet, the shirts with the collars, and all the stuff like that too. So, do you think feeling included and accepted is a big thing for the Centennial generation, not just in a golf course, but any business?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It sure seems that way because, back in the day, you would have never thought of doing any of this. And, we started at Palm Beach National many years ago where Mikey's at. And, Mikey, so you've seen a lot of younger generation come out and enjoy the game down by you, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Joey. Sorry for such a lame answer. I was daydreaming and then you threw it right at me, but I love you. I was like, yeah. But no, to that point right there is as far as like inclusivity, actually inclusion. The one thing that I saw that was such a cool buzz is having all these guys on your team, right? Elle, Jake, Sebastian, the young guys. That is just an invitation to more young people coming out, because they see other young people doing it. They want to go ahead and give it a try. So having young staff, having young people, and it continues to grow and multiply as they see others doing it. They think it's cool. So now they start showing up, and then more show, and then more show. So just already starting with a nice young core of people there that make actually, I imagine Centennials get along better with Centennials, right? Rather than some old guy.
For sure.
So having like young people around creates that buzz where they want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I think I've even noticed it too. You guys are probably going to laugh, but I'm sure you've seen it, that the people that have been there, and what Mikey was saying is important, not just having a young core, but having a diverse core, having guys, next to you like Louie, like Jim, like you guys bring out the best in them, because for years they've worked in golf the same way. I don't want to say they've been in a rut, but they've been golf. They've been old school golf. And so seeing them laugh and joke with you guys, like you guys are friends, it's hilarious to see, because for them, it makes them want to come into work more. It's going to make them, more understanding, because if they didn't know you guys and you guys didn't let them in on what it actually is like for people your age, they would probably be just as, judgmental to shut off the same way that we would be towards people that are not our generation, that are older, or, don't fit. So kind of bridging that gap is not just, it's important because then everyone on our team can relate to everyone that's walking through the doors, and, no, I think it's been really cool to see the way that everyone on the team kind of meshes together, because this is another question I kind of open up to all of you guys, but how do you guys feel about going to play golf as like a single or a twosome? Like, what are your guys' thoughts? Are you guys ever worried about getting paired with other people?
Never. I know I played actually another course, Ken McDonald.
Yeah.
And they're saying we have to have 2 to a cart. And it was some guy who we didn't know who was going to be. It was actually Jeffrey Hanger. You probably know who he is. He plays at Dobson all the time.
Yeah.
So it was super cool to get paired up with him. Mm-hmm. But even at any course, when we get paired up with somebody, just the kind of vibe that Dobson gives out, it's making it so much easier to talk to people, make conversation, not have stuff be awkward. If this guy seems like he's old and grumpy and doesn't want to talk, it's so much easier to get him to talk about something.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Or
never
you guys
really
just
worried.
talk about Dobson, like, oh, you play
Yeah,
out
I mean,
here.
everybody knows about Dobson now, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, when you refer to old, is what age is that? Is that like 35?
Oh, your age.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
No, well, and that's a really important thing, right? Because for as much flack as millennials and even centennials get, actually, for being like socially inept, for being kind of closed off, we're glued to our phones and everything. I know I can only speak for myself, really, and it's cool to kind of hear from you guys that we actually are more kind of down to go play with random people. Like, we actually look forward to it in a lot more than people give us credit for, where I know when I'm checking people in or seeing it, it's, you know, the two older guys that have played together for 20 years on every Tuesday that are like, are we paired with anybody? And you say, yeah, you know, it's a real busy day. And, oh, well, how long till we can go alone? 7 hours? Like, it's 10 a.m. You guys can go at like 5.
Yeah, like August.
Yeah, exactly. And so to see that is kind of interesting too, because, you know, and we've joked about doing our skits about it, and we totally still will. But, you know, that's something I never really understood about golf, because even if you get paired with people you don't know and maybe don't even like, you can just stay away from them. You don't have to do anything with them while you're playing. Just don't hit them with the ball. Don't get hit by their
You're
ball.
literally outdoors.
Yeah. You play your own ball. It's not a team sport. So, like, you know, you can't, I find it really hard for someone to ruin your experience just because they got paired with you.
All you gotta do is tee off together and then part ways.
Just go. Just don't hit the same side of the fairways. Then.
Jake, one last question, just real quick. Is that what do your parents think about you being in the golf business? You can be honest.
Yeah, they think it's great. I mean, at first they were kind of on the same page as me. They were fully supportive of whatever I wanted to do all along, and they still are. But when I brought up that conversation with Andrew a couple weeks ago about how I was considering maybe doing the sales job again, they were really on. I think they really had my back when they were saying, well, make sure you really think about what you'd be leaving, because at first they were kind of pushing for me to go do the sales thing. They thought it'd be a good idea for me to get out of town for the summer and try something different. And the second time it came around, I think they just saw how much I really enjoyed it, and they said, are you sure you really want to leave something like that? Like, think about not only how much you enjoy being at the course, but even when you're not working, you know, I spend a lot of my days off there too. I'll be, you know, if I'm not working there, odds are I'm probably hitting balls. I'm on the practice area, or I'm playing with friends or customers. So I think they really support me being in the golf industry. They see how much I've enjoyed it, and I think I've grown a lot as a person too, just by, you know, all the skills I've learned being in the shop and with customer service. So they're really supportive of me staying in the industry, and they want me to stay, you know,
Absolutely.
keep doing golf as long as I want to.
Yeah. Well, we hope you do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Elle, you joined the team about a year ago?
Yeah, May.
All right. And
Who's counting?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really excited for my 1 year.
You know, and both Sebastian and Jake have done great. Both of you had, and everybody's excelled in a different way. But I think you've made the biggest transformation, you know, because you've always were very kind and sweet, but you had a wall up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it seems like you've really found a comfort zone. So just tell us a little bit about your story, kind of what you like about golf, what do you like about the golf business, and where you see yourself going in it.
Yeah, so I've been around golf my whole life. My dad always had clubs laying all around the house, golf balls everywhere,
Mike.
Stolen range buckets, you know. And then freshman year of high school, he was like, okay, so you're going to be on the golf team. You don't have a choice. You're doing golf. And I was like, no, Dad, like, golf is so lame. I'm not being on the golf team. No way. So I joined the team, and, you know, at first I'm like, oh, I don't really like this. And then I ended up meeting one of my best friends. I varsity lettered my sophomore year, and then I stayed on it and made some of my best friends doing it, and I had some of the best coaches. And then kind of fell out of it after high school, didn't really golf that much. Then once I got this job again, I kind of, you know, just like fell in love with it again. I was like, this is actually one of my passions. My dad always like told me growing up, you know, you have to find what you like, find what you love. And, you know, going back to it after having a little break after high school, I was like, I actually really like this. I love the environment. I love being around people and being outside. And, you know, everyone says golf's not a real sport, but I mean, you're doing a sport, but it's also like the social aspect of it and getting to hang out with people while doing it.
Yeah. Well, when you started freshman year because your dad forced you, which was great, right? But then went from lame to really cool. What was it, you think?
I really don't know. I know like in high school, I had to do the tournaments and it was so like super official. Like you had to be quiet at the tee. You know, that would never be at Dobson. But we had to just be so serious all the time. And then I kind of was like, oh, I don't like how serious it is. And then going back to Dobson, I was like, it doesn't always have to be this serious. Obviously, we have two very different kinds of golfers at Dobson. We have the people who just want to play for fun. You know, they're not out there to yell at you. And then we have the guys, you know, they own the place. Like things have to be just like this. So yeah, just like seeing that there is really those two different sides, like really opened up a different perspective for me. And I was like, golf can be cool. Golf can be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have friends that have gotten into golf because of you? Or
I have a couple of friends that golf, and then this is my main golfing buddy over here. Definitely helped me get back into the game a lot. And like I said, my dad, like he's usually the main one I go with. And then all my friends are like, you make golf sound so fun, like teach me. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have the patience to teach a 20-something-year-old.
Yeah.
No, and that is agreed, even if it's not a significant other, which it's pretty obvious where I stand on teaching someone like that, but even just friends, it could ruin some friendships trying to teach them, you know. But so we know Jake was going for business in Espanol. What are you going to school for?
So I am in school for elementary education. Definitely being at this job, I have, reconsidered a lot. I'm not sure if that's actually the track that I want to take, but just this job has opened my eyes so much to like how much I actually love golf and how much I actually like might want to pursue it as a career. So I definitely think along the line, maybe somehow involving kids and golf, that's probably my dream job, is like teaching kids, running the course. Like that's definitely something I'm super interested in now, just because of working here. And yeah, it's definitely really hard to like stay motivated in school when I love my job so much. I just want to be at work every day because it's so fun.
This might go viral, this episode. We might have the only 3 Centennials that actually love going to work.
Oh,
it's great. I
funny.
actually like my worth ethic has completely taken off just because of this job. Before I would be like, I don't want to go to work. It's work, but this is fun.
No, that's awesome.
I was going to touch on it later, but I think now's a good time. One, it's not technically a job offer, but I think we'll talk afterwards too. But we've talked about it before, is that, Mike and I recently lost our dad. Your dad, even though it happened at a much younger age, played a major part in your role in getting into golf. And, the more people I talk to, that really was the case. I mean, your father was passionate about you doing it because he probably knew you might feel this way, right? And the happiness, and your parents are very supportive in that too. So the Pops and Junior Youth Golf Program is really designed to that. It's really designed to use the game of golf to inspire and actually show the youth that, there's something out there that you can enjoy, have fun, and, maybe even actually pursue a career in it, right? And, Mikey and I are great examples of it, that we said this numerous times, and it's not even a joke anymore. It's true, is that we didn't have any credentials. We didn't have any, skills. We didn't really have anything other than our father just taking us to the golf course. And, we met a lot of nice people, and we fell in love with it just like you guys did. So there's nothing holding you back. But, and I think it's really cool that you have a heart that wants to give back and get kids into it, because it's, we understand that a lot of the youth are not going to be PGA or LPGA superstars. You never know. But, even if it is to get a college scholarship or just to put a smile on their face and have a safe place to go and enjoy the game is really cool. Or what you guys are going through right now, right? Yeah. You weren't overly sure on what you wanted to do in life, and this is a real path. So you think that you'd like to get into the golf as a career possibly?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm even thinking about it right now, because just like Jake, I only have 1 more year left, and I'm just like, after that 1 year, what do I want to do? Am I going to stay at Dobson? Do I want to get my master's? And I'm really leaning towards sticking with golf.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, we're here to help. You know that. We'll always be here to help, because we definitely appreciate everything you guys are doing too. So, but Sebastian, all right, everybody has a little different path here. So share how you got into golf and what you like about it most.
Well, from the age of 6, I was actually a quarterback, believe it or not. So I was the kid who made fun of the kids who played golf. And then when I would play once a year with my dad, I was the group that you were like, if you were the group behind us, you're like, am I really playing behind this guy? Like, I was that group.
Nice.
So I was always mad. I hated golf because I never got any better playing once a year. And then I got into modeling, was out of town a lot. And then when the pandemic hit, I came back home and I walked in to see you. I pestered the crap out of you.
Yeah, I think all three of you did.
to get a job. And then once I started working there and I was hitting balls more consistently, getting better, I was like, golf is actually kind of fun. Like, I don't know why I made fun of these kids. And now that I play more with my dad, I'm starting to get more competitive with him, starting to beat him every once in 4 or 5 rounds. I think that's kind of what makes me want to stay in the golf business. It's a fun game. And the kind of people you meet, I mean, everybody thinks golf, they think, oh, the old rich white guy that plays is all stuck up. No, when you go to Dobson, you see so many different kinds of people and you meet a bunch of people. My personal trainer at EOS Gym comes to Dobson to hit balls, so I meet up with him every once in a while now to hit balls. And It's super cool. Just the kind of people that are there and that I've met kind of make me want to stay.
Dude, those kinds of pairings too. I don't know if you're talking about them, but Rowdy and
Dwayne.
Yeah, well, they're the ones that got me the membership.
And I think the funniest part too about that, right, is because you have Rowdy and Dwayne, these two guys own an EOS, massive guys, really hilarious people, and they play every single week with Wanda and her husband, 2 older people. You know, they're like half the size of these guys, and like they refuse to not play together because they just have so much fun.
Yeah.
And like those are the things that I would never have expected to see at another golf course. Just because, you know, we asked them, I think the first time we found out, we were like, hey, Dwayne, do you guys want to go a little bit earlier so the spot opened up? It'd really help us out. And they go, no way, dude, we're playing with them. We came with them today. And then it's been every single week since then. And it's just awesome to see. They met at Dobson. That's their new routine.
Last week, they called me while they were on the course. They were like drinking and having fun. And they were like, hey, can you put us in for next week? Me and Dwayne, it was Rowdy, you called me and Dwayne, and then Wanda and Roger too. You put us in for the first tee time you can. I was like, all right, yeah, dude.
So you got into golf, you're playing a little bit now, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, when you were the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. A little short up in here, you know what I mean? No, I was kidding.
Yeah, no.
But anyway.
The shorter quarterback.
But so I get it, you know, golf was not cool, right? But what made you make the change, though?
Well, I was when I came back from LA, I was looking for the first job that kind of fell into my hands, and it was Dobson. And I was like, man, I work at a golf course. I might as well go out and try and hit some balls. At first, couldn't even get it off the ground, couldn't keep it straight. And then when I started seeing a little bit of progress, I was like, you know what? Golf, if you can hit the ball, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always got a kick out of guys like Sebastian here.
Yeah.
But, you know, in high school and junior golf, and you have buddies that were good athletes and good at sports, they thought, oh, yeah, you know, if I just started playing golf, I could beat him. It's like, yeah. I think that the fact that the ball's not moving makes it way harder.
Yeah.
Definitely think it's harder. So so you're going to real estate school, right? And I do think that we should get a percentage of all your commissions because of our training and motivation, inspiration. I think it'll help lead to a lot of sales, right? It pulled you out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just kidding you. So what do you like about real estate?
Honestly, it was kind of you guys that taught me the whole business and selling kind of aspect. You got me to read a couple of sales books. Like right now I'm reading the one on How to Sell More by Ryan Serhant. And after reading a bunch of stuff, listening to these motivational podcasts that you guys provided me, it's kind of something that just caught my eye after not knowing what I wanted to do in life. And it was the first thing that came to my head. And I after doing the school, I wasn't too sure. And then now that I'm like halfway through it, it's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we obviously want nothing but the best for all three of you. We'll tease you if you leave, but you know, and you're always welcome back. But I think you'll do great in real estate too.
Thank you.
Let's just shift it a little bit too, because this is actually something, because we like to share this. There's a lot of people in the golf business that listen to it, right? So when it comes to finding like marketing, right, and ways to attract more Centennials, and I know you talk about the experience, right? But talk about like the message or the medium, the ways to go ahead that you think that would get more Centennials to even to show up to a golf course to go ahead and give it a try.
Yeah, I can go first on this one. I think that we would get more people. I think one thing that would bring more people out there, is kind of having that vibe that you don't need You don't need the tucked in shirt and collar. You don't need to have a handicap to go out there and play with a threesome or a foursome. You don't have to hit the ball perfectly straight. You don't have to be the guy who golfs every week and that actually practices. That it can really be for anyone. I think getting that message across, whether it be like with the player's card and getting a chance to put us in front of customers and show them like how we do things at the course, and show them that it doesn't matter what you're dressed in when you get here. If you're wearing flip-flops or whatever, because that's one thing we get all the time. People will call and ask that. They're like,
the dress code?
Yeah, what's the dress code? Dress code. So I think it can be something as easy as that, is kind of setting the precedent the first time you talk or interact with the customer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Elle, Sebastian, got any ideas, thoughts on ways to attract more Centennials into the game of golf?
Yeah, I mean, definitely with answering the phones all day long, I feel like that's kind of like a first impression for a lot of people. And they're like, oh, like, is the person I'm talking to on the phone, like, are they in a good mood? Like, am I going to have fun when I show up at this course, or like, are the vibes going to be low? And like, I have so many great conversations over the phone. I feel like just making jokes with people, or like, even like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just asked you for your last name 4 times. Can you please spell it one more time? Like, even like making dumb little jokes like that, I feel like that gets people like excited to come to the course, maybe like see who they're talking to on the phone, whether if it's all 3 of us, anyone that works in the shop. They're just like excited to get there, and they know that like they're going to be welcomed. Making people feel welcomed especially is like such a big thing, I feel like.
Very cool. And then so people that are out there that actually own a business, right? We talked extensively. We had a whole episode about the Millennial Mindset, right? And it was actually very positive. I think that it was meant to be productive. There was obviously some humor, which we always try to integrate, right? So just let it rip here too, because you'll be telling us what we probably don't want to hear. I'm just kidding. But when it comes to, leading, directing, helping, holding Centennials accountable, like, tell us what, like, the way you like to go ahead and receive information. Because it is different. You guys don't realize it. It is a world of difference from when I was growing up, man. Because it was the way it was, and if you didn't like it, there's the door and beat it, and there was a lot of 4-letter words involved.
Well, see, I like information like that. I like people to be straight up, blunt. Don't beat around the bush. Just tell me how it is. I don't like when people try and string things out, give me too much information. Just tell me what I want to hear, and I'll ask questions if I have any.
Right?
Dude, I'm writing it. You're on the record now.
Yeah. I'm gonna give one of the B-dubs up in here. Dude. You know what I mean? We'll see how he does. I'm just kidding. What about you? Because I don't think Sebastian represents a lot of the Centennial generation on that one.
One of the big things for me is like, how do you want me to go about it? Like, give me like advice for how I should go about it. If like I'm doing something wrong, then I need you to like really lay it out for me and tell me what exactly you want me to do better, what I can do. Like, looking at the bigger picture, like what's the point of this conversation? Like, I don't want you to just be yelling at me because you're in a bad mood and you want to yell at me. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that a little bit more, like knowing the why behind, everything you're doing, and, knowing why we're doing it and how to do it. And also just feeling like you're part of the team and you play a really important role, which I think that our management team at Dobson does a really good job with, Andrew especially. We'll always find time to pull the team members aside and say, how do you think this is going, or what do you think we could do differently, or, and it just feels really genuine. And I think that feeling like you're part of the process and part of like the actual team to make things happen, like you have a say in what goes, I think is really important, and just makes you feel like, you're part of making the dream work, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting too, because that is a great answer, and that is what we try to bring into all of our clubs, because the times have changed. Like when I was your guys' age a long time ago, but that never happened, right? You didn't need to know anything. You needed to know what your job was and just shut up and do it, right? And if you didn't do it, beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody was included in anything because these managers had this thing, well, if I teach them, they could do my job and I'll get fired, which is really an inept way to do it. And I think it led to a lot of failures in businesses as a whole, right?
And I just want to highlight this too, and I don't want to call them real sports, but I just want to say that the two people, me and Sebastian, that played, a little bit more structured team sports, we had coaches probably breathing down our necks. Yeah. We actually don't do too bad with the direct, like, hey, you're doing this wrong, stop it, figure it out. And and that's fine, and that's what I've attributed all my life to, having, call it thicker skin or whatever it is, or at least having an understanding of that type of leadership style, because it's what we had on our coaches, right? Yeah. The football coach is not gonna just cradle you. He's got a big team. You guys are hitting each other. It's for your own safety to an extent and all this stuff. And then, when you do play those individual sports and you may not have a coach bearing down on you like that, they're just telling you about form and mechanics and stuff like that. It is a completely different set of lessons to learn. Yeah. But they're all really great lessons, because that's what I feel like gets people hooked to golf, is when you're really competitive, you're only playing yourself. You're out there to beat yourself, and it's a lot of internal growth you get for sure. And I just think having those kinds of understandings is the really important part. But by and large, even people nowadays that have coaches, that you see it all the time, the coaches aren't very good because they're talking down to the team and they're beating them down, and then the team goes out, they play flat, they lose every game, and it's just a vicious cycle. Where before it was just understood.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in coaching, it's changed too. In the way to. So, Mikey, how do you think I might have to actually pull out the old beat for Drew and Sebastian? Why don't you put their comments to test here?
Dude, yeah.
So, Mikey, you were at the wrong end.
I do have a
of
funny
some of
story about that too, because I had to fix a pipe, actually, an irrigation pipe, because my girlfriend's father owns a construction company, and he was in work mode at this moment for our irrigation system because he wanted to help. And he was just like Pops. Seriously, it was awesome. I mean, hey, why don't you get the hell off that phone? Damn it, get over here. What are you doing? Come on, come on. Hey, tighten them up. Let's do this. Come on, get it in there. We got that, right? And it was awesome. So when we were done, I just had to put my arm around him as we were driving back in the golf cart, and I said, his name's Kim. I had to say, Kim, you gotta be a little bit appreciative that your daughter's not dating a sensitive millennial, but.
So, Mikey, you actually have a lot of Centennials.
Hey,
so, Mikey, share about some of the things how you motivate and lead some Centennials out there, because you have a little different style.
I'm glad you asked. So, a couple of things. One is that we have an amazing Centennial team here, right? Some young guys that love golf, but more so I've watched them to develop to love people. And through our leadership here is actually allowing them to know that they make a difference. And also to put really a lot of cool on them, right? To get them involved in some posts, get them involved, and then also let them know that everything that they do makes a tremendous difference. Secondly, like if you're young and you don't know what you want to do in life, I was there too. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life, and I was skilled to do very little. So the one thing I learned, and I'm so grateful I learned to do, was connect with people. And so my ability to connect with people had actually allowed me to live a pretty independent, fun, cool life that I get to do everything I love and enjoy and what I'm good at. And so if you're unsure of what you want to do, there's great resources out there just to learn how to connect with people. So to connect with the Centennial and allow them and teach them through observing, through, encouraging and everything else to connect with people is huge. Especially when you want to draw in more younger people, because they connect really well with one another. Yeah. And then lastly, and this isn't meant to be judgmental, because I found myself doing it. I think this day and age, especially for, Centennials and younger millennials that aren't like baselined, kind of pre-smartphone. I think it's, and I've found this in myself, that sometimes you get so caught up in your phone and what other people are doing and what the lives others are living, that you kind of like life is passing you by. So get out there and live and enjoy your life. And this can be a form of entertainment for you when you want it, but essentially embrace life, love it. You get one spin. And so the ability to connect with people, put a smile on their faces, embrace them. And then when it comes to any kind of correction, you know what? It depends. Different strokes for different folks. You know what? You could probably lay it down a little harder on Sebastian and straight shooter, where Elle may need a bit more encouraging and inspiration and understanding. Maybe she needs to learn a little better of how it's done. And so it's not like a broad stroke of just, this is the way I do it and this is the way it is. It's different strokes for different folks. And so understanding that of the human dynamic is super powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I want to pull something that was really profound in there that Mikey said, and I don't really want it to get glossed over because I think it is really key. Helping people understand that all of their actions and everything they do matters, right? Because one of the biggest downfalls to that old management style is you're the bottom level. You're worthless like dirt. You mean nothing. And what happens is when you think that way, seriously, you think that way. And then when you start making mistakes and you made a mistake and you're like, well, but I don't matter. And then you don't ever fix the mistake. And then it just continues to happen. The person comes down on you harder and you don't have that sense of worth where you're way more motivated when you know, hey, even if you just started this job, you're just learning. But to the customer, they don't know any different. Everything you say, do, the look you give, everything like that matters the most. It was something, actually one of the good things I took away from that job with the ambulance company was the biggest portion of their staff was EMTs, the most basic level. We really couldn't do anything except hold you together till we got you to the hospital. But because there's so many of us, we accounted for the most contacts with patients, and we basically represented the company more than the CEO, the president, the medics, all the people in between. And, for the staff to kind of understand that every little decision you make, your ability to make somebody smile or to do your job well, to roll with the punches and stuff matters, is then when you're important from day one, you're going to want to fix anything you realize is an error. Instead of being down on yourself and saying, well, Joe said I don't really matter. Joe said I'm a piece of crap because I didn't hit the goals last month. So what? So what's he going to do? Fire me? Find another one? That doesn't work anymore. And that's something that I think was really big that Mikey brought up, is that helping them understand the why, helping them understand just how much kind of impact all of our decisions have is going to be really key.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've shared it with, I think, all three of you too. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I have kids that are your age. I have kids younger too. God, I keep acquiring kids. But anyways, there is no better time on earth to be your guys' age and be successful. And I say that because you definitely have a different skill set that is really unique and cool. But also, and I don't say this sarcastically, this is the truth as a business owner. And, we have a lot of clients that are very, very successful, and they notice it too. For you guys to look someone in the eye and actually just share your passion and how you want the job, to open a door for a customer, to ask somebody how their day is going, you can separate yourself from 95% of your competition for that job. And I'm talking just with the people skills. So I encourage anybody out there really to learn and master people skills. And, Mikey is a testament. Mikey's done very good for himself. He makes a lot of money. He actually does whatever he wants when he wants. And the reason that he does that is because it works, right? And he's really, really good at what he does. And so, his really only skill is, and I don't minimize it because it takes work, right? Is that he remembers just about everybody's name. He remembers things about them. He's very genuine when it comes to caring about the other people. And I know you guys have that quality too, but it's easy for the Centennial generation to get sucked back to acting like that's not important. And trust me, it is. So don't get sucked back, whether it's Centennial, even your parents, or me, or Drew, or anybody that tells you it's not important, right? Be nice, be cool, have fun, look people in the eye, and actually genuinely have a servant's heart. And there's nothing but success, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in the golf business, whatever you pursue. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to play, because we talked about how to target the younger generation. We're just going to show a video we did that was pretty cool. We redid the greens 2 summers ago at Palm Beach National, and we had people tell us we should do an ad in the newspaper and all that stuff. We obviously laughed, right? So I don't think they even have those anymore, right? Have you guys ever looked at a newspaper?
Yeah, my grandma still gets them every morning.
Yeah, exactly.
But do your parents even get them anymore? No. I know my mom canceled hers.
Yeah, so I didn't think they exist. So what Mikey did, and we created on it, is to go ahead. We created a video that was very catchy and very cool, just to share that what happened at Palm Beach National, the new greens, in a very fun way that I think was very attractive for anybody watching, especially the younger generation. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got a couple of cool games we're going to play with the Centennial Trio.
Palm Beach National is back better than ever.
Summer Jam, opening day, coming to you live now.
We've been waiting all summer for the PBN opening day. Now let's begin. No Ricky, Romo, Xander, or Speed, just Cowboy Kenny T, the crew, and me, Mike D. A legendary Jolie masterpiece. Everybody knows us as the place to be. In sunny Palm Beach, blue skies by the sea, birdies fly, made a 5, put me down for a 3. It's opening day, ready to play, so grab your clubs and make your way to the Palm Beach National. Perfect tees with brand new greens, bright white bunkers and beautiful trees at the Palm Beach National. We may not be Pebble Beach, located on the ocean. We'll catch us on Fox Sports, hosted and open. So lay back, relax, enjoy the Florida sun. Here's a cold pop and a shot of rum. A game of one-on-one on the way to number 10. Wave down the card, girl, let's reload again. The Nash is back, here's to living the dream. It's like heaven on earth at the place to be.
Welcome back, everybody. So that was just a quick look at how we take our marketing here at Dobson. We're not a big fan of newspaper ads. We like to go ahead and get creative with it. Mikey, it's where he shines doing his rap videos and everything like that. Thanks for sticking with us. So to wrap this episode up, we're just going to ask a few more questions of our resident Centennials here. Joe, go ahead. What do you have for them?
Absolutely. No, I'm feeling all the good stuff here. It's like in my face, right? You know what I mean? But so, favorite good personality?
For me, it's got to be Bubby Golf. I don't know if he counts as one of the.
Does he? Definitely counts.
He's
Bubby
their
Golf for me.
He's an underdog right there. All right. Elle, who are you going with?
Can we do looks?
Yeah, of course. Whatever you want.
I'm gonna go with Garrett on that one.
Yeah, I figured Garrett.
Dude,
well, Garrett, if you're listening right now, Elle is available.
Shout out.
I want to put your digits up.
I'm gonna have to say Matt, dude. He's so weird, and I'm probably just as weird, so I just find it funny.
I can see that.
Yeah,
there you go.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we talked a lot about what we thought was cool. All right. We have this new thing going with us three, and we say cool, not cool. But biggest not cool thing in the golf business, Jake?
Biggest not cool for me is, when you're checking in, you're trying to get in as many holes as you can at 2 or 3 o'clock, and they're telling you at the shop, cart's got to be in right at 6:15 or 6:30, whatever it may be. And me and my buddies can see the ball till almost 7 o'clock, right? The sun's not coming down till after 6:45. That's at least 3 holes that we could have gotten in and finished our match. So that's a pretty big pet peeve of mine. Going to courses, that's a pretty not cool for me.
Yeah, that's definitely. Actually, you know what? After the episode here, we're gonna shoot a video. Mike, you need to definitely agree. Definitely not cool. All right, Elle.
Yeah.
I gotta go with the no music, the sleepy pro shop, walking in, hey, how's your day? You just gotta have something going on, some background noise. Walking outside, hitting golf balls, you want to hear like good music, and that's what we have at Dobson.
Totally understand that. I've never had anxiety except when the music doesn't work at any of our golf courses.
Yeah. Every time you walk in the shop, turn it up. Where's the music?
I just don't think I like to hear myself think or anything. I don't know what it is.
I'm talking to the
that's part of
customers.
it. You think too much too quick. You need something to kind of drown out your own noise.
But I do agree. A lot of these golf shops, you walk in, you look for the dead body. It's like, dude, is this a funeral home or is this a golf shop?
You know what? Funny on that, I actually got to reach out to some of the people at Golf Now. We had a golf advisor review about Dobson that somehow I didn't notice. Someone said pace of play was bad because the police were on the course looking for a dead body.
Well.
And didn't actually happen. Don't know why it was like a month ago we got that review. So
Somebody just said that.
Yeah. So it was weird. So that was interesting.
That's
We
funny.
missed it.
Yeah. Sebastian, what's not cool?
My biggest not cool is when you walk into the pro shop and whoever's behind the counter is just like, all right, you're at this time, $50. All right, go get a cart. You're paired up with these guys. Go have fun. And you're just like, well, when you talk to me like that, I'm not going to go have fun, man. I want to have a good conversation, get in a good mood before I tee off.
And they tell you to go find Randy, and you're like, "Who's Randy?"
Yeah,
like starter, you dipshit.
Yeah. Quit bothering me. I got the TV on here.
Louis.
Whenever it's Dennis, I go talk to Dangerous Dennis.
Yeah.
You know, I think that we might have actually had, you guys have never seen like Frankenstein, where they give lobotomy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? We might have defied everything about the Centennial. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? They know. Because your generation definitely, for the most part, doesn't like anybody interacting with them. So you guys have done great.
Oh, yeah,
Super
that's
cool.
true.
Definitely agree. Okay, so some great not cools. Couldn't agree more. All right, so we're going to go cool and not cool. All right. We can all give our opinion on this one, but this is a simple one, but it actually makes me laugh. But iron covers. And you can even act like you got a brand new set of clubs.
Yeah.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, I was going to say, Sass, you might want to start.
I had some, so I think they're not cool. My dad got me a new bag for my birthday and iron covers because he has them. And I put them on, just to make them feel good. But I think they're not cool, dude.
Like you put them on in the garage and take them off actually when you're playing.
They're still sitting in my old car's trunk, and I haven't touched them.
And you sold the old car.
Well, no, I sold the old set. But yeah, they're still sitting in my trunk, and I haven't touched them since.
Cool. Elle?
Not cool for sure. Just too much going on. Too much to deal with. I'd say no.
Jake?
Yeah, I want to say no too, but I think they could be cool. I just have yet to see cool iron covers, but yeah.
I agree with all of you, and you probably would have got fired if you'd have said cool. Right? Because there's nothing cool about iron covers.
Oh, yeah, Mike.
Did y'all see Bubba Watson had club covers?
Ugh.
Yeah, how long did those last? Is he still using them? Or was it just the one tournament and then everyone ripped off?
If he starts taking club covers off at the Masters, bro, it's over for him. It's over.
Yeah, no club covers.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we've already shared our opinion on this, and I don't know how up to speed you are, but you should, right? Bryce DeChambeau hits it 400 yards in the air, and now they want to change the rules of golf, equipment, everything like that. Do you think it's needed to change the rules of golf to limit distance?
Definitely not. The fact that he can hit it as straight as he does and how far is super impressive. I know I was trying to do that and swing super hard out of my shoes and try and keep it straight, and I couldn't do it. So I was like, dude, if he can do it, let him do it. Like, it's not unfair. He just works at it.
Yeah, we got to put about 80 pounds on you. He picked up 40.
Yeah. I'm trying to swing out of my shoes, trying to get it, 310 at the farthest, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
it's like Mikey's follow through. Every single one is different. The only thing consistency is about 3 inches off the ground.
Yeah, he is airborne. Yeah, no doubt. Elle?
Yeah.
Is DeChambeau cool or not cool?
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, if he can hit it that far, he worked hard to be able to get that distance. Like, there's no need to change the club,
Absolutely.
I'm with it. I wish they would go farther, actually, honestly. I don't think they go far enough right now.
That's the thing. I always said that about baseball, that I wish they just let everybody roid up. Like, we'd have pitchers throwing it 120. We'd have people hitting the ball 500 feet in the air.
Yeah.
It would be so much better for those kinds of sports, and golf's right in there.
Dude, they did that. It was home run derby for those years. You guys were too young, and that's the only. I haven't watched it in any sense.
Yeah.
I also think of baseball when when the batter charges the mound, they should let him fight.
Yes.
Yeah, like
100%. Duke it out, dude.
Yes.
I like it.
Absolutely. Now that would be cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So on the last question, it was kind of a setup because I think it would be fair to say that we're all pro DeChambeau, right? So we're going to end the episode here. Thank you guys. You're all amazing. We love you guys.
Thanks for having us.
So
Man.
proud of all of you. But Mikey has a smash hit called Pro DeChambeau.
Paige Koranic may not think so, but we're pro. DeChambeau, everybody. DeChambeau. What's the square root of 400 yards? I'd guess really, really far. Y'all wanna cry, y'all wanna whine. Watch as his ball waves on the fly by. Just a flip wedge into a par 5. Build a super Walmart between you and I. Does it really seem to be that easy? First to a pro with over 200 ball speed. Sun's out, guns out, ready to compress. Press that ball with some sick deep sauce. Hold up, just wait your turn. BAD's got the honor, so watch and learn. Got the full game with the hat to match. A pretty boy face, don't grow a mustache. Draw first blood like a savage Rambo. What? Nah, that's DeChambeau. Paige Koranic may not think so, but we're pro. DeChambeau, everybody go. DeChambeau.
There you go, everybody.
There you go.
That is the sneak peek into Mikey's soon-to-be smash hit, Pro DeChambeau. And we appreciate you guys listening. Share this. Give us a review if you enjoyed it. And thank you guys. Hope we made you smile. We'll see you next time.
From the
at the P to the B. Skip the plumb bob, drop the plumb bob, lose the plumb bob. Who needs a plumb bob? From the T to the green, at the P to the B.